So we're moving on now to Josh Swanson from Red Hat. And Josh is a solutions architect with a lot of a focus, I think it's fair to say, in the industrial space. And he'll really be talking to you about how FDO is used in a Red Hat environment. So with that, thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Richard. It's a very humbling introduction. So if we can all lower our expectations a bit, that'd be excellent. My name is Josh. I'm a industrial edge architect, which is a form of a specialist solution architect with Red Hat. My focus is exclusively the industrial edge. My job is essentially how we introduce Red Hat technologies and software into the industrial market. And I work both directly with customers and with our kind of back of house engineering, product management, et cetera, to kind of make all that happen. Um, Agenda for today, we're going to do just some very quick introductions, both to myself and to Red Hat. We're going to do some looking over of the challenges that exist with onboarding, especially in edge environments, especially in industrial edge environments. We're going to talk about how FDO really fits in and solves a lot of these challenges. And then at the very end, I have some additional resources that can be consumed today, right? They're ready to go right now. You can start experimenting and testing and start building and integrating into your environment. Quick introduction on me. I never look good in professional headshots, so I use pictures of my corgis to bribe everyone to pay attention for my presentations. So this one is Anna. She is currently sitting next to my desk, so if we have any interruptions, we can safely attribute that to her. Quick flyover on Red Hat. Red Hat's intention from a product portfolio is to be a very strong platform and automation orchestration company. Our goal is to provide a succinct consumable foundation, a succinct consumable platform that works across many different domains and in many different deployment locations. Our intention is to provide a very cohesive experience. Write your applications once and deploy them anywhere you want. Um, and Red Hat takes on the responsibility for providing that consistency, right? All the way out to these small form factor purpose built devices through kind of the premise edge or on sites, through telcos, through kind of the distributed data center approaches, and then all the way back to the enterprise core, right? And that could be your favorite cloud provider, that could be your data centers. We don't care, right? Our goal is to provide consistency across all of that. This middle box, I think, is one of the most important points about our platform approach, right? It is to both run the next generation workloads and also provide capability to run existing workloads. We're very in favor of running everything that exists today, all those mission critical, production grade applications, but allowing for the capability to level up and grow and add workloads over time without having to rip and replace any technologies. This will probably come as no shock or not really news to anybody who's worked with edge environments before. But there are a few key attributes when we talk about edge, right? And some of these are reality, and some of these are challenges or opportunities, depending on how you look at them. Edge is really individual implementations dialed up to 11 due to scale. So the intention behind it is this works at one site, but we want to do it at 1,000 or 10,000, and we may have more than one implementation at each site. And so it really becomes a scaling challenge. Our edge sites are typically not as reliably connected as our data centers or clouds are. We expect interruptions. We expect them to need to be able to run autonomously without having constant connectivity back to a central management plane. And that's something we just have to deal with. We really want to drive towards a very automated and simplistic management approach, but in reality, that's a bit of a challenge today, right? There's a lot of different applications, a lot of different vendors, and not necessarily the highest amount of interoperability. The applications that run at edge typically are very focused on lower latency or on data processing. Edge is where we typically generate the majority of our data. So our data about production, or our data about sales, or our data about whatever. The data is typically being generated at your edge locations, and that's where the vast majority of it is really kind of stored. And the goal is to, as much as possible, provide capabilities to capture, translate, forward, store, whatever, all of that data. And it's a bit of a paradigm, right? We have huge amounts of data and we have high demand for high frequency compute. But in reality, we don't necessarily have the same level of hardware that we have at our data centers or in our clouds. The resources are not as available. So it's a bit of a conflict in what we have versus what we need or what we want. Today, this process probably looks pretty relatable or pretty familiar to anybody who's watching. That's again been dealing with edge deployments. We typically handle onboarding or introduction of new devices and technologies in a very programmatic way, right? We typically put the device out there, we send someone with it. That person has to be qualified, they have to be trained, they have to be ready. They then travel to the location, they install it, and then they do any kind of that post configuration or post installation tasks that really need to happen to make sure that it's being productive in the environment. This process typically works fine for one site, one location. And works even better if that edge deployment location is close to where your specialist is. But this process fundamentally doesn't scale. So the moment you want to do another location and that location isn't as close to where that specialist is, now you need another specialist, or you have to send the same specialist to multiple places. And you can see where this quickly snowballs, right? Onboarding one or two sites may be achievable in a reasonable amount of time. But if you're going to onboard 1,000 sites, it's going to be a challenge, right? It's going to require a lot of investment around either a large workforce, or it's going to require really overworking one specific specialist or a group of them to drive all of those deployments. Ideally, we'd like to flip this. We'd like to kind of change the paradigm on this. There's kind of this grand vision that exists for edge deployments where maybe we centrally deploy what we need onto devices, and then we simply throw them in the mail. We give them to UPS or FedEx or whoever, and we have them deliver them to the sites. And then someone who is non technical, not a specialist, simply connects them and walks away. That would be the ideal state, right? And this idea of late binding, this concept that's introduced with FDO, is kind of an enablement that allows us to really take this approach and make it successful. What's cool about this approach is it does scale very, very well, right? These devices can be created and imaged and managed in bulk. They can be managed at great scale. And again, because anybody can be the recipient and the one connecting it on the other end, it's very easy for them to really just plug it in, turn it on, walk away, and rely on the technologies and the software to do all of that post installation configuration work. All right, let's talk about this relative to Red Hat. So we've introduced we've introduced FDO into our technology stack in a technology preview state. We're working towards general availability. I would stay tuned for, I would say, just a couple of months here. There's kind of four main pillars of the way that we think about how FDO really enables the consumption of our products in a secure and controlled manner. That third one, I think, is by far the most pertinent, or the one we try to keep top of mind when we're working on this technology, right? We want this to be something where a non-technical user, a non-trained user, can take a device that's been delivered to a site, plug it in, turn it on, and simply walk away. That's our goal, right? That's the vision that we have, and that's very strongly reflected by the feedback we get from our customers. All of the rest of this is also true, though, right? FDO provides that late binding mechanism that allows us to load potentially secretive or controlled or high privacy required data or software onto devices in a very secure way, right? We're confident in the device being who it says it is. We're confident it hasn't been tampered with. That means we can safely onboard it. It also gives us a way to kind of track and identify the systems as they roll through our deployment process. Because this is done cryptographically, we have a very strong level of trust in that, right? We know what device is what. We know exactly where it's been deployed. We know when it was onboarded. And we're confident that now we can roll out kind of our mission critical applications and our mission critical data to it with a high degree of confidence. This is available now, again, in technology preview. It was introduced with Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.0 and 8.6. We're now on 9.4, 9.5, and 8.9. So any relatively modern version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux or Red Hat Device Edge will have this already baked in and ready to go. So it's already kind of out there. It's ready for consumption, ready for testing. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this. I think this was probably hit on in one of the previous presentations. But the goal really is, from our standpoint, having that initial organization be kind of the main manufacturer from the FDO sense. So you're kind of manufacturing your own devices, if you will, and then allowing these devices to be deployed, always talking back to infrastructure you control. Now, this is because it is a standard, it's open, it's interoperable. You can use someone else's FDO infrastructure if you choose. But Red Hat's also shipping a way where you can run all of your own FDO infrastructure. You can run it all on premise if you would like. You can run it in a cloud. We don't mind. We provide that capability and that flexibility where, again, you run this where it makes the most sense and you consume it as a piece of technology to enable secure onboarding. On the right-hand side, again, I won't read through these individually, but it's how this process happens kind of under the covers, right? I use this slide as a good reference when I'm talking through how to understand what FDO is doing, kind of step by step. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, we do provide client server capability components. They're all available as RPMs. They can be built into images. Essentially, they're packages that are ready to go that can be installed onto existing operating systems, onto existing RHEL systems, and the kind of upstream versions of Red Hat Enterprise Linux if you want. We also are working on container images. So having the ability to more rapidly get that deployed and have it be a little bit more portable. Those are available publicly. Again, just simply pull and run them, and you're kind of up and running and ready to go in kind of a development or a testing environment. The bottom outlines kind of the functionality that we're providing and focused on. And the pieces, if you will, the individual components that we've broken the software or our implementation down into. The client is really kind of I would say, the most used piece, right? That's the piece where that gets embedded on any device that you want to onboard. The first three are really related to the kind of like backing infrastructure. These are the pieces you always run and that are there to really run the FDO process when it becomes time to do so. And if you don't have Red Hat Enterprise Linux in your environment today, that's okay. Don't worry about it. There are two quick ways to really get going here. Red Hat has a online cloud-based builder tool that allows you to build Red Hat Enterprise Linux or Red Hat Device Edge images and then simply download them and start using them. In fact, they're portable. You can use them for on-premise bare metal installations. You can install them into your favorite cloud provider or your favorite virtualization platform, whether on a server, on your laptop. It will cover all of that for you. And in addition, if you're ready to kind of turn the knobs a little bit more, let's say, we do have a full on-premise implementation as well, and we have a quick kind of outlined demo that will help walk through the various steps of this, right? It's targeted at running just an example on your laptop, but again, the process scales, and you can take the same generated image and use it on servers. You can use it on cloud instances, really whatever you'd like to really kind of start seeing the FDO capabilities in your environment. Perfect. That's all the content I had. I'm going to hand it back, I believe, to Richard now.
Josh, thank you so much. Really nice to see the Red Hat story and how it fits into an industrial world and how FDO can be a piece of that overall puzzle. If you've got questions for Josh, he'll be with us on the panel a bit later, so please come join us. We're now going to move over to a presentation that I've really been looking forward to for a long time. I don't think there's probably one person on the call today who's not heard of Microsoft Azure. You've probably all heard of Microsoft's Azure Edge solution. Well, now you're going to hear something new. You're going to hear about how FDO fits in with Microsoft Azure's Edge solution. And we're going to hear from Gerardo Diaz Cuela, who's a partner software development engineer and architect at Microsoft. And he'll really be talking about how the world of FDO and Microsoft Azure comes together.